Welcome to Honest Astrologer, and today I have a very special guest. She is Shani Bhakta of the top order and a senior and a guardian figure for me. Somebody whose devotion to God and particularly to Shani has inspired me a lot. She is a senior, almost a motherly figure. So, such an honor and a privilege to have you. Welcome to the channel, Maila Thakkar ji. बहुत स्वागत.
Jai Shani Dev.
Jai Shani Dev.
That is really kind of you, Vijay. And for me, it's infinite blessings of Shani Dev for me to share my insights on him. Bow down to you, Karma Faldata Shani. And thank you, dear Vijay, for having me again on this platform. I'm truly humbled. Just a minute before you ask me anything or I share anything, I would just like to say that whatever I will share today is all that I have learned in my journey of astrology. Gratitude to all my teachers. And there may be different schools of thought on what I say. And I am open to learning also.
Today we will be learning from you. So
Yeah, sure.
first of all, Malaji, you have such a great relationship with Shani. I have done my research on Shani. I've been to Shani Shignapur twice or thrice. But I still get into that alert mode whenever Shani is mentioned. But I have seen you are very comfortable with Shani. And when I was struggling with my Shani video, we had a chat and you said, "Ghabrao mat, ho jayega." I don't know how you said it. Was it a blessing or what? And it happened at one go. And for a while, it was like the number one video on YouTube. If you would search Shani Mahadasha, internationally it was coming number one. So it did very, very well. So I finally felt, हाँ यार Shani Dev ने इज्जत रख लिया. So how is it that you managed to develop such a great relationship with Shani? And how do you dispel the fears around it? So we'll start with your journey. How did you develop that relationship?
Okay, firstly, unless you have Shani's blessings, it would not be the number one. So you have somewhere Shani's blessings and you're starting your 2024, which is 8, which is Shani's number with this video. So I think that is your first sign of blessing, that he is blessing you, and you are also part of his blessings and part of his journey in astrology. So my relationship with Shani, yes, I was not aware of Shani Dev. I had a classmate, a dear friend, somewhere in 1980. He just gave me a photo frame of Shani Dev and I did not even know about him. I just put it in my temple. And the moment I came to know that this is a god or a lord who is most feared, I wanted to read more about him.
So was that the Shani Signapur stone wala photo or what? Or a typical
stone wala
yeah.
photo.
Please continue.
I think that was the first time I heard about Shani Dev. And then I think when this Karma Faldata Shani came on Colors in 2016, I started watching it and I loved watching it because of the characters, because how it was displayed. It was a second Mahabharat for me, wherein I was glued to the CV set to know what happens further, how he functioned and why he was the child who was not given love and attention. Yeah. And that is why he was the despised son of Lord Surya, and how he grew up to become Shani Dev. There are not very many planets who have a separate temple to themselves, right. But Shani Dev is one of them. That is because his bhakti towards Shiv gave him this boon that you will be prayed to, and you will be the Lord of Justice. You will give everybody as per whatever they have, whatever karma they have done. So I think it started with that photo frame given by a dear friend, and it went on to Karma Faldata. And when I watched it the second time, I could understand the underlying lines and tones and words which were said. And I don't know, I had a very strong connect with Shani the moment I finished watching the episodes. There were about 346 episodes.
Oh my God.
So I watched, and there were days like I would start watching at 11 in the night till 4 or 5 in the morning. So I think that was when I got Shani, because Shani is a planet after the sun sets, and I think that is when my connect with him was established. I truly love him, and somewhere I feel he loves me, even though they say that he doesn't, he doesn't.
Not partial. If I may ask, where is Shani stationed in your chart?
In my chart, I have Shani in Makar, the second house.
I love a second house Shani. I absolutely love a second house, Shani.
Maybe there somewhere that connect between you
Yeah,
and me
yeah,
established, because I think when I met you, it just clicked. It just clicked.
yeah. Somehow वो compatibility होता है. You know, when I started my journey and I got lucky with my Ketu content, but Shani was like the back of my mind कि हाँ ये करना, and this is going to be difficult. कि Rahu and Ketu are about inspiration, Shani is about respiration. So this is what I've learned. But what I realized was कि जितना fear mongering हो रखा है, it is not actually that bad. I mean, Shani is tough, no doubt. He can be unforgiving, but वो जो villain बना रखा है is not a villain. So how can we stop this fear mongering that happens around Shani? अरे तेरा शनि भारी है, शनि ने ये कर दिया शनि. So how can we make people less afraid of Shani Dev and make them understand the right balanced view of this planet?
Okay, as far as I understand, there is always fear of the unknown. Okay, people in their day-to-day activities, we do a lot of karma. Now, we are not aware of our karma. I think awareness is most important where you take Saturn or Shani, because if you hurt anybody, okay, if you ill-treat anybody, if you belittle anybody, if you look down on labor, or if you know, somebody who's old, who's dependent on you, somebody who is needs your attention or care, you despise them. You know, these are small things which people don't realize that they are building up their karma. And Shani doesn't do any harm. You don't have to fear. But if you are not doing the right karma, he is going to hold you during your Sade Saati, during your Mahadasha, Antardasha, Pratyantardasha, any of the dashas. So he is going to pull you up and he is going to tell you, please wait, watch, make that change in your life, because otherwise things are not going to be easy for you at the end. Shani always deals with your karma and how you live your life. So the last segment of your life is always ruled by Shani. Whether it is your Shani's dasha or no, the last segment is ruled by Shani.
When we say last segment, is it like 60 plus or what?
See, we all get our Sade Saati for thrice after every 30 years. But last segment is, suppose you are living for 60 years. So the last segment of your life, your last 5 years, 10 years is ruled by Shani, because he is going to give you all the positives and negatives of your life. So before you exit, you have to, get the result of your karma. So that is how Shani is taken.
Very interesting. So let's say somebody has done bad karma but has a good Mahadasha Antardasha by the end of his life, but Shani comes up. What happens to him? So does Shani still punish him?
Shani will give him a difficult end. See, we see many of them, they are 80, they are 85, they are praying that please take me away, please take me away. See, good is a very relative term. What is good for me may not be good for another. But as a normal understanding, if you have not done your karma, he will want you to, in the last segment of your life, last 2 years, 5 years, you become dependent on another. So they say Ashtam Shani people live very long. So that living long is not important. Your quality of life is important. In that last age, you are dependent on anybody, on somebody. And that person may not, take care of you. We've seen so many parents, they are old in an anath ashram or in a old age home. So they don't, they are being punished for whatever karma they have done. I mustn't say punished because I am no authority on that, but I'm just trying to explain. They have to bear whatever they have done and then exit. Shani will not let them go before that.
A part of that karma has to be suffered.
Yes, it has to be suffered.
Some of it would get to other lives, but at least a part of that would be given to you by Shani. Is that what I understand correct?
Yes, that is that is correct. And also, Vijay, it is that so many of them, they are happy. They've not done so many very good things, but even then, so our birth chart is a screenshot of the planets when we were born.
Right.
But at the same time, it is our Purva Janma karma which has come. So we may be having a good punya. So because of that, we are not getting punished for this. You see so many of them, they do so many not so good things, but then they are living a good life. So they have that Purva Janma Punya. So that balancing That is done only by Shani Dev.
What is it that people need to know so that the fear of Shani converts to respect for Shani, which you have? You have
Yes,
immense respect for Shani.
absolutely. The first thing is you have to respect Shani. You have to respect people around you, even if it is your own labor. You have to treat them. You have to be humane. You have to treat them well. If you have to scold or shout at them for doing their work, that is okay. That is part of your job. But you don't ill treat, mistreat anybody, and you give them their dues. You don't extract work out of them and not give them their dues.
You have to do that
The
balance.
moment you respect labor, people working under you, because they are dependent on you, and also they are the underprivileged. That's why they are working for you.
Acha, Malaji, I have an entire theory about the next question, but I would let you answer this one and learn
Okay.
from you. What does the placement of Shani signify in the chart of the native?
See, wherever Shani is placed, he is going to make you work hard, very hard, and you will be treated as if you're a step relationship.
Yeah.
So whatever you work, you are not going to get your dues for that from that house. Okay, no matter what. Suppose I have Shani in the second house. So I'm going to work, work for my family, work. They will recognize that. It's not about the recognition, but that fulfillment, what you want, that you would never get. So that is for wherever your Shani is placed. If your Saturn is placed in the 10th house, that's the house where you work, your karma. You work more, you're always paid less.
It gives a lot of power, I've seen, but not so much money. 10th house Shani will put you in the uppermost echelons of society. But I have seen a lot of bureaucrats, politicians, but these people have a lot of power, but for some reason they don't have that much money.
They never have, because 10th house Shani always makes you work harder.
It will give power, it will give progress, it will give you a big name. I think these guys, they live for the people. These are very public. Acha, Malaji, the most important question in this interview, I have struggled to put into words. Okay, Shani's Drishti impact for all three aspects. What's the difference? Third Drishti, seventh Drishti, and the 10th Drishti.
Okay. Shani, all the planets have their seventh drishti. All the planets have the seventh drishti. There are certain planets in the outer orbit. That's Mars, Jupiter, and Saturn. Saturn has the third, seventh, and 10th. Seventh drishti, 100%. 10th drishti, 75%. And third drishti, 50%. Okay. Shani is the farthest from the sun. So depending on the distance from the sun, it has its drishti. Now, seventh drishti is 100%. Each drishti signifies something. The third is your thought, how you think about something. 10th is your responsibility. And 7th is a direct drishti. So no matter what, whether it's in the inner orbit or outer orbit, the planet always have this as the seventh drishti. So seventh drishti is not harmful. 10th drishti of Shani is 75%. Why? Because whenever we make a prediction, it is very necessary we see what is the house, what is the Rashi, which other planets are placed in that. We have a lot of videos saying, okay, third is this, 10th is this, 7th is this. But whenever you closely make a prediction, it is important to see who is the tenant, who is the owner of that house, and also whether that planet is friendly to Saturn, is neutral to Saturn, or it is an enemy of Saturn. Another thing I would like to share is Shani is important, but whatever is Shani's nakshatra, very few people consider the nakshatra of the planet as important. Right. So when you do a reading, I think that entire thing has to be taken into consideration. You cannot say third Shani is generic. Yes. 10th Shani, how we spoke about, okay, works hard, doesn't get recognition or doesn't get enough money, gets power, but at the same time, what he wishes, he doesn't get. Because that is Shani's trait. He wanted to be loved by his father. 9th house Shani. But that's not possible.
Yeah. So one aspect which is considered one placement, in fact, two placements of Shani, which baffle astrologers, and they are considered very mysterious and difficult to. And I agree to it. I have done a lot of research on the eighth house. Shani
Okay.
in the eighth baffles almost everybody.
Okay.
And 12th house, as you know, being an astrologer, any planet sitting in the 12th house becomes a headache for the astrologer. How it is going to react, it's very difficult. And then Shani in the 12th, my goodness, that's another level. So, what are your views about 8th Shani and 12th Shani?
Now, eighth house in the Kalpurush Kundli is the house of transformation. Shani always tells you to be aware of your karma and do the necessary transformation. I would like to share that 2024 adds up to 8.
Ji.
So this is a year for transformation. You work on what you need to do, and you will see that difference. You will see that transformation in the course of time. Okay. Now coming back to the 8th house and 12th house, we have Shani Uch in Mesh.
Neech.
I mean in Tula, and Neech in Mesh.
Ji.
So if for any reason your 8th house and 12th house, you can take 6th also, is Mesh, your 6th house, 8th house, or your 12th house is Mesh, you are going to have the effect of Shani more malefic than a normal Rashi. Similarly, if you have Tula in 6, 8, or 12, the disturbance Shani can create will be much lesser. It's a relative term, but what I'm trying to explain, where it is exalted and debilitated, those make an impact. And 8th house is your house of transformation. It is always churning you to become better, to live a better life, and makes you do a lot of hard work without which you cannot change things. And 12th house is your house of moksha. So Shani is a karaka there too.
What are the impacts? Let's go back to the 8th house Shani.
Okay.
So
Okay.
the moment you say an 8th house Shani, what are 3-4 things that come to your mind immediately? कि
The
ये तो
first
होता
thing that
होगा.
comes into your mind is 8th house Shani is a long ayushya. Yeah, because he's the karaka of the 8th house.
Yeah.
He's the karaka of the 6th, 8th, 10th, and 12th. So 8th house karaka. So he is not going to let you exit or go away easily. He's going to give you a longer life. But sometimes longer life also means a difficult life, because you live long, you have people younger than you who go away before you. So you have to go through that sorrow.
Okay.
So that is the first thing that comes to your mind, that if it is Ashtam Shani, 8th house Shani, it will give you a longer life. But is that long life important or necessary, or is it
a
fruitful?
blessing or a curse?
Is it a blessing or a curse? Because you can become dependent also if you are ill health. 8th house is also the house of Gupta diseases. Shani carries a lot of D's with it: diseases, dullness, despondency, despair,
denial, delay.
Denial. Now it doesn't. It will never deny. It will only delay. That's a sentence I always keep in mind.
Acha, Malaji, 12th house Shani, the most mysterious. If somebody asks me, okay, bhai, which is one placement that gives you a headache, for me it's 12th house Shani and a 12th house Rahu. Very difficult to decode. So I would like to learn from you. 12th house
Now,
Shani.
12th house Shani, yeah. 12th house Shani, if you see the Kalpurush Kundli, 12th house is mean. Shani is Revati Nakshatra. Revati is one of the wealthiest nakshatras. Yeah. So 12th house Shani over there makes you virtuous and makes you aware. I think the most important thing for Shani is your awareness to your dealings, to your reactions, on how you deal with people, how you react to persons and situations, and how you handle them. Because only then will your karma be in place. So
when you see
doesn't scare me. Doesn't scare me even if I see in a chart. Because he is going to make you aware of your karma before you exit the world. 12th house is our exit. So it doesn't create a fear or scare in me. If I see somebody's, I think, oh, very good. Before he leaves, he'll balance his karma and then only go. Shani will not let him go before that.
Okay, so what are the 2-3 things that come to your mind? One to karmic cleanup ho gaya. What are the other 2-3 things?
12th house also represents our expenses, our investments. So Shani over there, Shani wherever it is, it also gives stability. That is the only planet who is mature and wise, who will give stability. Like 7th Shani will give you stability in marriage. It will not let you break the marriage no matter what. Of course, for every single prediction or analysis of a chart, we have to see a complete one, planets with it, the Drishti of Guru, whatever. So, Shani in the 12th house will reduce your expenses and will also, whatever investments you make, it will give you stability in that.
Interesting. My learning has been that a person's life revolves more or less around the house of Shani. This is what I've seen. So the power of Shani, it's a different thing when you read something. And what my father would make me do is he'll collect a lot of charts and he'll say, "ये देखो ये फलाना planet इसमें क्या कर रहा." And there were some of his regular clients, and then you have those celebrity horoscopes and you have those ancient horoscopes. So I was researching on Rahu, I guess, and I noticed कि भाई सारी महाभारत शनि के खाने के आसपास दौड़ लगा रही पूरे चार्ट में. Yeah, so for example, Lord Ram, 4th house Shani, it was all about Raghukul, start to finish.
Yes.
भगवान कृष्ण 6th house शनि, पैदाइश से मार काट चालू. And Mama se shuru shatruon mein khatam. So I realized this, that the house of Shani becomes the karma bhumi. It's the center of the most important activities in your chart. This is what I've noticed.
You said 9th Shani, right? For you, 9th Shani.
Yeah, it's 9th Shani. Ji.
So let's connect that. 9th Shani, you are into higher learning.
Ji.
You are into teaching.
Ji.
You are into spreading the word of astrology. Yeah. So your world revolves around that.
And I learned it from my father. I learned it from my father.
Yes. I have 2nd Shani. My life revolves around my family.
Yeah.
No, like even if they pull me aside and say, okay, you go take a break. Okay. I will say, oh, no, let me complete this and go. So what you said is 200% true. Ki wherever Shani is placed, your life revolves around that. And that is the most important part of your chart.
9th house Shani, I paid a price for it. I couldn't handle injustice. So it would make my blood boil. And when you are in corporate, that too in HR function, it's difficult because you will end up butting heads with the seniors for the sake of the juniors. And even in my life, I have almost always sided with the underdog. I've taken a lot of pangas just to ensure that justice is done. So for me, justice is the main thing.
Vijay, if you see the other side of it, 9th house is 12th of 10th, away from work to pursue astrology, to spread the knowledge.
And I plan to become a sannyasi later in life.
We'll see that little later. As of now, you spread the word.
No, abhi to I have my Shukra Dasha for another 15 years, but 9th Shani, I've seen people become hermits later in life. वो 58, 60 के आसपास they become hermits for some reason. So great. So okay, another question which gets thrown around a lot. So Shani combinations, of course, there are too many for one interview, but Shani Moon and Shani Rahu, these two get a lot of bad press. My personal punching bag is Shani Sun. Very, very difficult if you ask me. But Shani Moon and Shani Rahu, they do get a bad press. So what are your views on these two?
Okay, Shani and Sun.
Shani
the Sun, right? Okay, yeah, I'll come to that. But let's start. Since you mentioned Sun and Shani, when the sun rises, Shani is not around. When the sun sets, Shani comes out. Yeah. Okay, Shani, sun is light, Surya is light, brightness. Shani is darkness. But you cannot take so much of light and brightness also. You get at 12 in the afternoon, if you're out, you get burnt. Parallel, in darkness, you have your photos, whatever photos we have the negatives into positives. So darkness, Shani gives you a true picture of who, what you are and what you need to do. So they both are completely opposites. So whenever they are together, they are going to give a malefic effect.
Oh, yes.
So because of their portfolio, whatever they have, they are totally different from one another. So they are going to have that malefic effect. Now coming to Shani and Moon, Saturn and Moon, it is said to be Vishyo, Shani Chandra. But like I told you, for any planet, its most important is the nakshatra. Now, in Karka Rashi, we have Pushya Nakshatra, which is the best nakshatra, one of the best nakshatras of Shani. Full nourishment, totally positive. So, we do not consider Shani and Moon, it has a Vishyo to a certain degree. Okay, to a certain degree, we can take that as analysis. But the moment we see Shani Chandra together, Vishyo, cross, it doesn't work like that. Shani's pushes Kark's nakshatra, which is the most nourished. So I beg to differ that when I see Shani Chandra, I do not take that combination as totally negative.
I sort of like it. I like Shani Chandra. Matlab Shani Surya makes me go in a tizzy. Shani Chandra, particularly for male natives, can be very powerful. I have seen some of the top yogis and sannyasis with this yoga. Swami Chinmayanand. I think Vivekanand ji also had that. So these were strong men. These were very strong men. So, and there is a certain amount of cold control over emotions which other people do not have. I mean, Shani Chandra wouldn't give you a reaction. Chandra Rahu will give you a drama 70 ka theater. Right? So, I don't hate it. I am an admirer of Shani Chandra people. So, what are 2-3 things that come to your mind when you see Shani Chandra together?
The first thing, Vishyog, does cross your mind because we have learned that, it's somewhere implanted in your head. Yes. But even in Makar Rashi, if you see, you have Shravan Nakshatra. Yeah. So there also Shani has chosen Chandra, and both Kark as well as Makar, both are movable Rashis, Char Rashis. So if you consider Shani is a slow moving planet. Shani is lazy. Shani will take time. He is a late comer. But with these two, they are in Char Rashi. So this is what I feel, that certain times we, very quickly answer, wherein we need to see whether, it's a movable Rashi, it's a Sthir Rashi, or it's a dual Rashi. So I don't think Shani Chandra, I don't take it negatively at any point of time. Yes, there is a degree which you need to consider, that it does create Vishyo. People with Shani Chandra, I have seen at least 10 charts, close known people, they would keep on thinking about the same thing. Yeah. Like they have made a decision that they would do this. They would come back again and say, oh no, I don't think this is okay. Okay, fine. Then you shelve that thing and make a fresh decision. Then they'll come back and say, oh, I think that decision was a better one. So that is there. Those who have Shani Chandra, they have this ability to do that. But otherwise, I don't think it is negative.
For the record, I have Moon in Pushya and Lagna in Shravan. Totally Shani dominated chart I have. Anyway.
Shani dominated chart, but Vijay, I always feel that Chandra, your mental capacity to deal with so many questions, to deal with so much of astrology, to take so many people, interview them, you have to have that sharpness in your mind, that quickness in your mind, that alertness in your mind. Only then you would do that. So Chandra is well placed.
Yeah, 7th house Chandrama. So I had an HR career, was a popular man.
Yes.
But I think Lagna mein wo Buddha Dete also helps. So
Buddha Dete, yes. It does.
Okay. Second one, and this one absolutely baffles me. Shani Rahu. Please, all yours.
Okay, Rahu, when I see Rahu in the 6th house, that is the only placement which, sets me thinking, because it implies a lot of things. But Shani and Rahu, what first comes to my mind, okay, let me put it this way. Rahu was an Asur, Shukracharya was the guru of Rahu, and Shani and Shukracharya had the same guru, Shiv, Mahadev. Okay, so Shani and Shukracharya are very, very well connected. Rahu is one person who always wants to do what he wants. He will not listen. If you tell him go right, he will say I'll go left and then I'll take a right. So he doesn't want to listen to anybody. He wants a free will. He wants the freedom to do what he wants. He has a little cheating, being cunning, that kind. Shani is very straight. Shani will do what is just. He doesn't want to do anything which is not correct. So somewhere both of them, I feel, each trying to teach another. This is my perception or view or whatever I have learned. Rahu is trying to tell Shani, stop being rigid, learn a few new things. And Shani tells Rahu, be disciplined. Only thing is, Rahu may not listen to anybody. He may not listen to his own guru, Shukracharya. But because of the power Shani has, Shiv has given him that power. Somewhere Rahu may not bow down to him, but he is disciplined where Shani is concerned. And I have seen this in 3 charts. Shani's Drishti on Rahu doesn't let him go haywire.
So what does this combination do? So if you, let's say you see this combination in a chart, what does it mean to you?
I always see where Shukra is placed.
Okay.
I always see where Guru is placed. Guru doesn't have much of a say where Rahu is concerned. But even then, to benefit that. But if they are placed in a house, say if they are placed in Drishti, Shani Rahu, that is another volatile sign. 8th sign of Kalpurush, wherever it is placed. So Mangal and Shani don't get along. Rahu and Mangal get along. So depending on the placement, the Rashi, I make an analysis, but I don't get baffled seeing Shani and Rahu together, because somewhere Shani always overpowers Rahu. Okay. Always, so far.
So I look at it as a gangster and a policeman sitting together. Yeah, that's my view. And of course, Shani being the most powerful, Rahu uska robe khata hai. Have you seen that movie, Ab Tak Chappan?
Ab Tak Chappan, no, I
haven't. Arey, must watch.
Okay,
so the protagonist, the hero, is played by Nana Patekar, very Shani character. Okay. And the villain is a gangster named Zamir, very Rahu character. So that was a beautiful description of the chemistry between these two. Ab dekhna. And I've created a video around, this thing, comparing these characters. I'll share with you. So it was one of my earliest articles to go viral. ये मैंने कभी कोरा वेबसाइट पे लिखा था, so it went to thousands and thousands of people.
Shani is at the moment in Rahu's NL.
Okay.
I always check the nakshatra. So Shani at the moment is in Rahu's NL. So Shatataraka. Somewhere Shatataraka, even though it is Rahu's NL, it is a healer.
What's NL?
That's the nakshatra lord.
Acha, nakshatra.
Okay. I know I have learned Vedic very little, but I have learned KP. So we always give more importance to the nakshatra.
Yeah, and I went around, talked to a few friends of mine, कि भाई I'm going to interview a Shani expert, and what are the questions? Surprisingly, Shani Mercury came through several different people. Whereas I never gave a lot of thought to Shani Mercury. I was like, ठीक है यार, this is a decent combination, maybe analytical brain. But people are like, यार इसका जरूर से पूछ के बता.
Okay, I have Shani Mercury in the second.
Excellent. Rich woman, huh?
I don't know about rich, but yes, this being my second, interview, I feel very good that at least I can voice what I feel, and I can share my astrology. And I think Shani gives me this deep research. This combination, Shani gives me this deep research. I never am short of matter. Like I'm always wanting to learn more, get more information. And Mercury somewhere gives me the intelligence or the choice of the right words. I would be happy if I would be able to write everything and then just read it out. I think it would be a much better video. But then I'm learning this way that without that I can express whatever I know. So I think Mercury is a very fast moving planet. Saturn is a slow moving planet. But that research, that hard work is necessary to put across what you have learned. You need Mercury.
I've seen these people are very methodical. Shani Mercury people are very methodical. The most unmethodical people you will find are Buddhaditya people. Mercury sitting with Sun will behave, your buddhi will run like Sun, you'll be all random, yaar, dekha jayega. Shani Mercury will
and also
plan
you're
things.
with Sun, you're with the king. You don't need to worry.
Dekha jayega, chalne do. But with Shani, Mercury plans very well and then slowly execute. So it's a very thorough planning. Okay, ji. Now, big one, Sade Saati. So I'll be honest, I have this newfound admiration for transits. I was never big on transits till last few months back. And you know this. So with fresh new eyes, I want to look at Sade Saati. And how would you tell about Sade Saati to a person who doesn't know a lot but has been scared out of his wits? Sare mera Sade Saati hai.
Okay. Now, Sade Saati, we see this not from our ascendant Divan chart. We see that from our Chandra Rashi chart. Chandra Rashi is the Rashi in which you are born. That is the name you get. So that's your Chandra Rashi for people, those who are hearing it the first time. And whenever Shani transits your 12th house, first house and second house, that is when you have your Sade Saati. Every house, it stays for 2.5 years because it takes 30 years to complete the 12 houses. It's your first 2.5 years, next 2.5 years in the first house and the third. The first segment is on your head, okay, your sit. The second is on your heart and the third is on your feet. That's how it is divided. So the first segment is okay. He's just giving you a jerk to tell you you have a difficult time coming, time which will make you learn a lot. It will help you grow. And by the time you finish your Sade Saati, you will know people around you. You will know them like an X-ray gives you the exact reading of the person who is actually your friend, who just shows you that he's your friend. So it's basically 7.5 years of cleansing. Only when you go through difficult times do you learn things. So he's just trying to clean you up. So the second segment is the most tough one because he thinks 2.5 years I did, jerk you a little, but you haven't learned anything. And before he goes, he blesses you. He gives you things on a platter that, you had a tough time. But I don't think there is reason to fear Shani because he's only molding you into something. How could I give you an example of this? Now, I think the previous time we did this video on this session on Draupadi. Okay, so this is what I have learned. And I connect with the Sade Saati or with Saturn when people are scared. It was a conversation between Draupadi and Krishna. Draupadi always comes onto my mind. And she was going through a very difficult time. So she tells Krishna, why is it that, I'm always in trouble? Why is it that I'm having so much difficulties in my life? So Krishna says, it's just that you have a pot of mud, of clay. When you mold it, you need to hit it on different parts, on different portions, and then you give it shape. Once the shape is given, you're still hitting it from different sides to mold it into a particular shape. So, and then you put it into fire. So only after you put it into fire, then will it be able to hold water. So this is what Sade Saati is, or this is what Shani says. I have to hit you, I have to mold you, I have to put you into fire. Only then will you be able to retain water. So only when you go through difficulties, when you go through tough times, only then you will be able to come out fuller and happier, understanding what is the true meaning of life. Just by reading some literatures, you may not do. Only when you have physically gone through something difficult, only then would you able to you will be able to appreciate or live life in a fuller way.
So basically, Sade Saati brings you trouble. Can we say that?
Sade Sati brings you trouble to mold you and to make you understand the truth of life. If I'm going to tell, like I'll give you a few remedies now, people are not going to be able to, start doing it. But if they are in trouble, they would want to do it. So unless this is human nature, I think, Vijay, people only when they go through a tough time or when they go through trouble, they think, they are running here or running there, going to this astrologer, that astrologer, whoever will give them a solution for whatever tough period they are going through. It does teach you in a hard way. Hanji.
Of course, we'll come to the remedies. But first, what's the difference between the first phase, second phase, and the third phase? If you can give some examples.
Yeah. The first phase, the first 2.5 years, things will slow down. And things will slow down, and you will start getting your disappointments, your delays. Second half will be a jolt. There are things which would have never expected. Especially, I wanted to take this up. Especially when you have Saturn over Saturn, that is Saturn return. Wherever your Saturn is placed, every 30 years, the transit Saturn passes through that. So if you have a transit Saturn and if you have Sade Sati together, the intensity like ऊपर से नीचे गिरा देगा. So if you see Sade Sati, just two examples. One Sade Sati, we see Amitabh. He had, his ABCL, he didn't have any money. His ABCL was down. And the same Shani gave him KBC and brought him up. So I always feel that fear shouldn't be there. You work hard and he'll give you things on a platter. But yes, you will have your trials and tribulations.
So one question I have, if a person has a good Mahadasha and undergoes Sade Saati, what will have a bigger say?
If your karma is good, I told you it's a relative term, but if you have not troubled anybody, if you have been, honest, you've been doing your duties, your responsibilities, and you have a good Mahadasha also, Saturn will not trouble you. He'll just give you small despairs or small sorrows, but he will give you what is in his portfolio. All the planets, each of them have a portfolio of theirs. So they are going to give you that during their Mahadasha. So if you have a good Mahadasha, but if you have your Sade Sati is going to give you lessons or teach you lessons which he needs to give you. So it will not be very malefic, but at the same time, you will get one or two blocks on the road.
So now we can go to the remedies, please. I'm sure viewers are waiting for this one.
See, firstly, take care of the sick, the old, the dependent. Anyone with a physical disability, you have to help them in whichever way you can. Be humane and sensitive to another who is less privileged. Okay, then any protection you can provide to the less fortunate. For example, footwear to protect them from the heat and the dust and dirt. To the needy and to the poor, an umbrella to protect them from the rain. Shani is always for the underprivileged because he never grew up as a normal child. He never got any benefits from his father, even though his father was so powerful. So his heart always reaches to those who are needy. Then a simple another remedy you could do. You have people living in huts. They have these plastic sheets on the huts. You're not encouraging them, but at the same time, their water coming into their house, they cannot afford that. So black sheet over that, to help them, to protect them from the rain. Then the simplest or easiest remedy would be on a Saturday, till or sesame oil, diya, If you could do it near the people tree, very good. Otherwise, on the west side of your house. So a diya on that, and a mustard oil diya on Amavasya. So
In
these
a
are
temple, mustard.
in your house. No, in your house also you can do. If you can go to a
Excellent.
temple, very good. But I think lighting a lamp in your house also is effective, because very many may not be able to reach the temple. And all of this after the sun sets, because Shani rises once the sun sets.
Great, great. Excellent remedies. Excellent. मतलब एक दो मेरे पर्सनल फेवरेट थे और एक दो आई एम लाइक यार मैंने क्यों नहीं सोचा इनको. So credit to you. Okay. Next question. How did number 8 get associated with Shani? And they are saying 2024 is the year of Shani. I understand that if you add 2024, it comes to 8. So, what is the significance of this number 8 and what can we expect in this year?
Okay, number 8, like I mentioned a little while ago, that's the Kalpurush Kundli, 8th house, house of transformation, your longevity, your transforming, turning into something better, living a better life. Also, it is 8th house is in astrology pain with gain and gain without pain. So your inheritance, whatever you get, losing a loved one and getting that inheritance, or working very hard and getting money. So this year is basically, it's a magical year because they say it's a year of transformation. So each of us have to look into our selves and work towards making this a happening year.
Great, great. So, with this, we come to the end of our questions. What is any other thing that you want to talk about? Either the recent movement of Shani or your final parting thoughts on Shani or anything you think we should have taken off?
Shani is in Kumbh now. That is its Mool Trikon Rashi. So most of the people, those who have Kumbh Rashi as their Lagna or their rising, it is a very special year for them, because these 2.5 years, Shani is going to give them all which they wished for in the last 30 years. So it is the best for them, because he's just going to give them on a platter. Those, if he says some of them who have not been so kind or not been so good, so he will give plus as well as minus. But this is the house, the 11th house in Kalpurush Kundli is your Ichha Purti. It's your house of luck. So he is going to give you whatever you have worked for. Sure.
Thank you so much for taking time.
Thank you.
Shani Dev.
Jai